Okay. Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the show today. Y'all ready to get into this crazy topic that we're about to do?
Yes,
Let's do
Yes.
it.
yes. Good evening, everyone.
Let's
Hey,
say everybody
everybody.
say good evening. Yes,
Good
we
Good
do
evening.
have
evening.
we have a lot of we have like this subject. I'm going to give everybody a warning up front. This is a very difficult subject to talk about. A lot of people, I know we've all kind of, a lot of us have been exposed to this one way or the other, and we're going to try to talk about this. And I know we're going to have a lot of different people that feel certain ways. And like my thing is this: if you have any comments that you want to share throughout this topic that we're about to talk about, please don't don't hesitate to go ahead and write a comment, because I know a lot of us have all been exposed to this, and we all can relate to what we're about to talk about. But what we're about to talk about is the crab in the barrel mentality of how people do things in life. When it comes to race, when it comes to um, race, business, politics, and we're going to talk about how this has an impact on all of us, one way or the other. So, with that being said, I'm going to start off I'm going to start with Eric. And Eric, give us an example of what, like, either you witnessed it or it actually happened, where you was kind of like saw how that crab mentality thing has had an impact on your life.
For me, pretty much once I became, well, pretty much my whole career has been the same thing. I used to wonder, what's this guy's problem with me? What is this person's problem with me? And it didn't dawn on me until later on. It's just straight up because I'm not a yes man. I do what I need to do, and I was fast tracking. Well, they were just, you might have just gonna put out there jealous of where I was and what I was doing. So they might say this or they might say that, and I spent a lot of my time, you know, trying cussing people out because they get it twisted. They get it twisted, and it's like all I'm doing is my job. That's it. That's all I'm doing. That's all I want to do my job, go home and be with my family. That's it. Because you got a problem with me, that's on you. Or you can't. Or just ask me what am I doing? I'm doing nothing any different than anybody else. And uh, 26 years I fought that fight, even on the way out. Same thing. Uh, you're good enough to be in a leadership position, but you're not good enough to be promoted for that position. So that's my experience with it.
Okay, Marcella.
Mine is comparison. This has been my experience. Anyone that knows me knows that I love home material design. I like to decorate. And the crabs in the bucket mentality for me was where someone compared my home to someone else's home. But the home they compared my home to was someone that they had a click with. You know what I'm saying? And the mentality was that I got from it was that they knew that visually, they knew that I could decorate good and that my home was beautiful. But they told a certain person, don't let Marcella know that you didn't decorate this because she think that she can decorate better than everybody. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just crazy how you can have a talent and someone can just see your talent visually, but
No, acknowledge it.
they don't want to acknowledge your talent by trying to put it out there in the atmosphere that you think that your talent no one can compare to you. So that was my experience, and that was just it was disheartening to me. But all it did was make me even better than when they saw that years ago to where I am now. So it just made me better than than what y'all thought that I was.
Okay, Tisha, what, what was your example?
I'm gonna just get straight on into it. It's been family for me, family and friends, and the greatest challenge is realizing that if you don't give, they have an issue, whether it's your time, money, resources. But if you're put in an opposing situation to need them in that same manner, they're unavailable. So again, you got your givers and your takers. I was always one of those people who would give. I've experienced it on the job, like Eric said. But mostly the pain for me with the crab in the barrel mentality has been the family. And then immediately when you try to separate yourself from what you've experienced your life, then it's the whole, oh, you think you better than everybody else.
Right.
And so you get into that whole, and that to me, that's the crab in the barrel mentality. When someone tries to level up, so they say, or break generational curses, and then you've got the main people in your family trying to pull you back down, whether it be verbally or taken from you back into that situation.
And I'm gonna go right there with you on that one because in most cases, it's the jealousy of family that gets the best of you. And I know that for me, it was one of those things to where okay, like in my time frame, once upon a time, yeah, we were homeless, we were poor, but we're doing better now. I mean, all of us
Hmm.
like we grew up, we're doing great things. We're not in jail, we're not in prison or anything like that. But family wants to keep you down. They don't want to
Right.
recognize your successes, your the great things you've done. They want to put you down or pull you back in that bucket where they're at in some cases, or try to push you down even lower. And that, I think that's with me. That's what I've experienced, and I mean, I experienced it more so from family. And the like, and that's what in those times. That's why I kind of cut away from family sometimes, is because you don't want to be back in that bucket. You want to live beyond
Hmm.
that bucket, and so
Mhm.
sometimes
Right.
you have to cut people out of your life just
Yeah.
so you can actually enjoy your successes in life. And so that's one of the things that whole thing about the crab mentality is most of the time what it is that someone's jealous of what you have or what you can do, and instead of praise you and promote you, they're ready to pull you back and down you. And so that is one of those things in 2023. It's like this is kind of like, and this is one of those mentalities from back in the day during slavery. If
Hmm.
you can't be free, if I can't be free, you're not going to be free.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like it has always been like that for when it comes to the black race. It's been going on for years, like ever since slavery. So I mean, even from the time that when they were selling slaves in Africa. So it's like that crab mentality thing is like it's one of those things that has haunt us for years. And so today we're going to try to talk about how can we like the challenges that comes with that and how can we overcome it.
Yeah. And
I think we have to start having real transparent conversations with people
Yes.
and just being completely honest about how the behavior makes you feel. That's where I started at with my family. And then once I drew that line in the sand, it's up to me to determine if they cross it, how to deal with them. But I'm like you, Mario, in the sense of, or how Eric was saying too, at first you're real defensive about it and you may, cuss a little bit, bust people out. It's a constant tension. But then you're like, wait a minute, what am I doing that for? I'm wasting my energy. Let me, use my words, explain what I'm saying. And then if this person can't comprehend that, then that's it. Because the one thing how I stopped the whole money asking me for a thing is I start talking about my bills too. So you talk about what you need to borrow the money for. Well, shoot, it's the first of the month for me too. And then I started naming out how greater my bills were than theirs,
yeah.
and I haven't gotten any more phone calls about borrowing money.
And
So you know,
yeah. And I want to say too, like even with I'm hearing now, or I've learned over the years, like you said, when it comes again with family or even friends or associates, that my confidence, I was told, my confidence um, also meant to them cocky. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, my confidence is cocky. And, like you said, it's all about being transparent and talking to some people and trying to get them to understand, to explain to me, like, what do that mean? You know what I'm saying? And I just had a conversation with somebody a couple of days ago. And like I said, most times it's family. I had a conversation a couple of days ago, and I had to tell this certain person that stop making excuses for bad behavior based on how you feel about that person. Because you feel like I'm closer to this person than that person, it's wrong. I said, because if somebody else do it, but this person do it, you're gonna excuse the behavior of this person, but then the other behavior of the other person is bad. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, no, we can't do that. I said we all can win. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you were saying, Tisha, and Mario was saying, it's like a lot of times whenever you're doing great and people see that, that becomes a problem for them. And I've learned my whole life was that I would never dumb myself down or stop at a certain point in life to be comfortable and complacent because it makes you feel a certain type of way or it makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm never going to do that. So us as a race, I think that it don't even have nothing to do with the person that you're trying to compare apples to oranges to. It's all about how you feel about yourself. And you feel like because I decided to stay at this level, then anytime you meet me or you surpass me, I have a problem with you or have a problem with that.
For me, when I first realized what was going on, yeah, I threw a few cuss words in there, but then I caught on real quick. Instead of being mad or angry, here's an idea. Why don't you try and talk to him and ask him, hey man, you got a problem with me? What's going on? Talk to me. And then once you talk to them and you tell them what's going on, and they realize I did the same thing what everybody else do to get promoted. I just did it quicker. I didn't wait. I don't wait. I didn't wait for nothing. I got up and I went and did it. And every time I did something, it wasn't raising my voice or anything. Hey, I'm not gonna do this. Okay, so you want to know why? Go ahead and tell me. And I'm gonna go ahead and quote the regulation and everything and let you know why I'm not gonna do it. And this is why. And this is my solution to said issue. So, and it got to a point. My wife even saw it. That they never questioned me because they knew whatever I did, there was a purpose. And that's what you have to do in your life. You have to have a purpose. And the same thing applies: purpose, motivation, and direction. Just like in the army, it applies to civilian world. You have to give yourself a purpose. Have the motivation to complete that purpose and follow that direction till you get to that end goal. Now, to say that, that is for you. There's gonna be people pulling from either side. If they ain't got nothing good to add to that, to give you that hand or that cup of water to keep on that journey, you gotta push them to the side. Don't let nobody stop you from doing what you need to do to be successful, especially if you are responsible for another person, i.e., a child or spouse. Never, because this person is feeling bad that you here and they're not. That's not on you. That's their problem. Now I will talk to you and tell you how I got to where I am. I will do that, but I'm not gonna stop, dumb myself down, get to your level, hug you, hold you tight, and then pull your ass back up. No, you got to pull your own way. Like who was it? Master P said it best. Instead of throwing a demo tape in my face with me and my family, why don't you just ask us how we doing? Ask me how I'm doing. Ask me how my family's doing. Because I might be a music producer, but I don't produce music all the time. I do have a family. And
can I ask a question, like, why is it that, or it's more like why is it that, it's it's like, like you say, crabs in the bucket mentality. But why is it that a lot of times the same ones that's trying to pull you back or pull you down, they don't even want to go, they don't even want to rise above a certain level. They just don't want you to rise above that certain level. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like this: if you're trying to pull me down, then instead of trying to pull me down to stay stagnant and to stay where you at, how about we rise above and try to figure out how we can both get out the bucket? You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's sad, and it's like I don't want to just like pinpoint, like Tisha said, it's like, and to me it used to, and it usually back in the days it was always people that you call your friends. You know what I'm saying? It was like, well, I thought you was my friend, or and that's why now we can't use that word so loosely. But you know what? I'm just gonna go out and say it. Now it really starts with your family. It's really, it starts with your family. You understand what I'm saying? And so my thing is this: are you trying to pull me back into the bucket because of the fact that you don't want me to pass you, or you trying to pull me back in the bucket because of the fact that you want me to stay where you at, and you feel like, okay, well, as long as you don't pass me, then I'm good with you. But as soon as you pass, as soon as you know what I'm saying, then it becomes a problem. And then it's like now um you're trying to diminish my character and my integrity based on how you feel about yourself, and you try to deflect that on me, you know?
See, I think what what I've done, and like what Eric, we can both relate to this, is I learned that the only thing that held me back from me meeting my full potential was the military. You can't, and the way most of these systematic systems that are corporate America or organizations that are developed from back in the days, that that crab in the barrel scenario will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It's just the way it's just a system that is set that way, to where if you're trying to reach your full potential, because you're trying to become at a higher level, some people are stuck in their comfort zones.
Yes.
They don't,
Mhm.
if they see, oh wow, you're doing all this, now I got to work harder to do what you're doing because everybody sees you. So I'm gonna do something to pull you back down here.
Mm-hmm.
So in these systems, and then it's like even the school systems, and I mean every system that's out there, the army, the military, DOD, whatever way you look at it, it's been there for so long, to where you take that one, and it's always going to be, you're always going to have those people that get into these positions where they're comfortable.
Hmm.
One of the things I've always told myself, or always was told, is the moment you become comfortable, you become stuck, and you don't want
Yep.
to move up. So I always try to stay uncomfortable, because when you're uncomfortable, you're always going to be on the move, going up, doing things for yourself. And see, what I've learned when I got out the military is completely disregard the bucket, build your own platform, so you don't even have to worry about the bucket.
That's right.
Yeah.
You'll there's certain things that you're gonna come in contact with it, but you're walking around the bucket. You ain't got nothing to do with the bucket because you're never in
Mm-hmm.
the bucket. And that's what I tell people: when you're in a situation where you become your own boss and you have complete control, it's going from survival to living. When you're able to live, you control what goes on. You don't have to live in a bucket. You don't have to deal with people that go in the bucket. So then you build your own platform, and you're able to live life the way you want to live life. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is that now we have to learn to build new platforms. And a lot of people don't want to build new platforms
Mm-mm.
because those are the individuals that want to stay in the barrel. They want to pull people back. They want
Yeah.
to pull you back into that bucket. And
Hmm.
so to me, I've learned the best thing to do is create your own platform, create your platform of success. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to use somebody else's platform, barrel, or bucket in order to be successful in today's life.
That's so
And
true.
that's where we have to overcome. And that's one of those things to where I learned when I was in the military. Okay, people always held me back. Well, no, you're to get E5 3 years. No, no, you deserve this because I didn't do it. Because I didn't do it, you're not going to do it. It's always that thing where it always points back to that person being selfish versus being helpful. My thing is, when I was in, if I wanted, and see me, one of my greatest achievements when I was in the military is I had two soldiers that they get promoted promoting. So
You breaking up.
I didn't how what this
You sound like a robot.
things I learned.
Mario, your screen is frozen.
Back.
Refresh. While he gets unstuck, though, I can say I do
Yeah.
agree it's systematic oppression.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a lot of systematic oppression. And not only just that, when you have an entrepreneurial mindset, it's very difficult to deal with people who have the crab in the bucket mentality, because the entrepreneurial mindset is free. You know,
Yeah.
you don't have that bondage. Yeah. Are you back?
No,
Yeah, I'm back. I cut out for a quick second. I'm not sure what happened. I'm like, oh,
Okay.
Okay.
you kind of
yeah, that's what I said. The entrepreneur, like I said, being your own. Yeah, so I caught the end of that, but it's just like that's one of those things. We
Yeah.
create our own platforms, and that's where today, I mean, like what I do and what we do, like in some place here in Fayetteville, is we all work together to promote each other. It's not about who's better than the other, but who's doing the right for the right things. Who's promoting the community? Who's doing better things for the community? So if you're doing great things for the community, I'm going to promote. I'm going to do a thing. But if you're that one person that's trying to rob everybody, and you ain't trying to do the right work, and you're trying to be lazy, then guess what? I'm going to cut you off. So I'm not even going to put you in the bucket. I'm just going to completely kick you out the bucket. So you ain't got to. I ain't got to deal with you at all completely.
Right.
So
And even
that's just
doing things.
I just.
I'm sorry, Mario.
Mm-hmm.
And even doing things, you folks again. Even doing things and positively, like me.
Okay.
I help in the community a lot. You know, I feed the homeless. I give out tennis shoes. I just do a lot in the community. And so I think sometimes too, like you said, people have a problem with the fact that you're out here and it's like you're not stagnant. You want to do things to help other people, and it's sad that we as we are our own worst enemies. It's sad that people tend to try to uh, make you seem to be a certain type of way based on the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like no matter what you do that's positive, somebody always gonna find a negative in that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody always gonna find a negative in that. And that's sad that it don't have anything to do with you as an individual. Your heart is truly sincere in all the things that you want to do for your community. Um, Somebody always gonna find a negative in that, and that's to me that's also trying to pull each other down, because it's like if I'm out here and I'm doing things in the community to try to help, to try to build, to try to mentor, to try to give, then why do you find a problem with that? Why do you find why is it that oh, she think that she's all that because it's like she always want to be the center of attention. I mean, why do we have that mentality anyway? You know what I'm saying? It's like that is just if we can get over that, we can get over that. We as a human race and we as a black race, we can do so much in this world if we just support each other. You know what I'm saying? We just support each other.
It's got to do a lot with mindsets, as they alluded to earlier. You got entrepreneurial mindset. That means you're your own boss. This is what you're gonna do. This is the steps you're gonna follow. This is all that you're gonna do A through Z. All right, but when you got that one track mindset, you're gonna stay right at that bubble. You're not gonna go. You're not gonna rise above. You're not gonna rise below. You just gonna float. Well, everybody's passing by you, or everybody's moving up. You still at that same spot. So then that leads us into choices. You choose to stay right there, okay? Because all them people walking by, everybody ain't going. If somebody's gonna come by you and ask you, "Hey, you good? You straight? Oh, I can get you to where I'm going." all you got to do is this, and this. You don't want to hear it because you got that one track mind. You want to stay right there. So since you choose to stay right there, now you're mad that everybody else done moved on ahead of you. Now you go into the black hole. Now you want to suck everything back down with you. You don't care that they on the same level as you. You don't care what it does to them. You just want them down there, right where you are. So that's why you have to be in the right mindset to do any of these things. Because like for me, my mindset is family. So every choice that I make, every step that I make, every move I make, everything I do is for the betterment of my family. So if I say I want to go do something, change the oil, flip a tire, whatever, if it doesn't benefit her, if it doesn't benefit my grandbaby, if it doesn't benefit the household, then it's non-negotiable. It's not going to get done. And the same thing applies when I consider you friends. That's also family to me. So if Keisha called me or Mario called me, it's non-negotiable. I'm coming. I'm coming. It's not no, gas. I come there for some eggs. You give me a dozen eggs, I'm coming to help you at your house. It's not like that. It's you call me, I'm
All right
coming.
now.
I'm coming. And I ain't even gonna be mad once I get to your house and you say it's good. Well, shoot, since we here, let's go do something. And it's all about mindsets and choices. I choose to keep this mindset, and no matter how hard it gets, haters, I'm gonna keep this same mindset. I'm gonna choose. I'm gonna continue to choose because right now, if I call Mario and I say, "Hey, y'all, I heard about this investment," and it says, "Well, I know Mario. I know him like a book." Wait a minute. Wait before you even start. What is this? What is this investment about? And I'm gonna tell him, "No, don't do it. It's not a good idea." Same thing with teachers. These are the type of friends that I want. This is the type of family I want to tell me, "You want to invest in what? Have you talked to my sister?" No, I'm gonna call her. She need to hear this because this don't even make no sense. Don't do it, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't do it. That's what we need. And it goes right back to the village mentality. That's what we need. When we went away from it, that's how all this. That's another reason why this mess. We all caught up in a never-ending loop because we don't went away from the community. That's like I said. That's the mindset I have, and that's the mindset I'm going to continue to have because I never understood the crab and the bucket mentality, and it is not successful at all. But yet again, since it's a societal thing, people tend to hold on to it.
And I have a good example too, and this is just me. I think that's where career criminal, because I used to always say, what is a career criminal? And I think that, to me, I'm explaining to why I feel like that's part of the crabs in the bucket uh, career criminal mindset. Because not most times when you have someone that's all they do their whole life is to rob, steal, and kill, to just take away. To me, I feel like if I'm not gonna go work for it because if you got it, I'm not going to work for it. I'm just going to take it from you because I feel like if I don't got it, then you're not going to have it. It's just like it doesn't matter. It don't matter if you got a beautiful home. It doesn't matter if you drive a nice car. In their minds, they feel like, okay, well, this person right here has money because look at their house or look at their car. And so the career criminal, they're in the bottom of the bucket because they feel like I would rather go out here and take from you instead of work for it. You understand what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so what I can do is I can bring it back to the bucket, and everybody that's in the bucket that's just like me that don't want anything, I can just go out here and I can just take it from the ones that want something. So criminal mindset, career criminals. I'm like, is that really a job? You know what I'm saying? It's always like, even when I was young, I could hear they're a career criminal. I'm like, what do career criminal mean? And I feel like that's part of that because, like I said, if that's all you do is to go out here and you take from people that have things, it's because of the fact that you feel like if I don't have it, they should have it, or you don't want them to have anything because you don't want to work for what you got. So, what do y'all think? Do y'all think
So
the criminal mindset,
here's
is
a
that
bigger.
part of?
It's a little bigger than that, Marcella, because I think when Mario said earlier, it goes back to slavery. It goes back to each one teaches one is the motto that I
Mhm.
live by. And when you are talking about an entrepreneurial mindset, and you start to do a degree of separation, I can't understand a criminal on that level. So I'm not even going to try
Mhm.
at this point to insert myself into that mindset. So that's where, for you to get out of the barrel, you've got to identify that, who am I coming out of the barrel with? So me being a full-blown entrepreneur, and some of the decisions that I've made within the last 5 years, I don't even discuss them with people, simply because, like Mario said, a systematic oppression when you're working in the school systems, when you're working in the military. I tell people it's like going to your favorite restaurant and realizing that the kitchen is very dirty and you don't want to eat there anymore. So I don't even, to get out of the barrel, you have got to teach people. We've never been taught. Our community doesn't know. And those that even want to be out of the situation have no idea how to even begin. So it takes those forward to bring those that want to come out into the light. And so someone gave me an example and said, when it's really dark and you see the light, what are you going to move towards? What are you going to gravitate towards? You're going to go try to find that light. So I think part of what we have to do, like Mario was saying earlier, is when you get in a comfort zone can be viewed as an idol, something that you're comfortable with, a convenience. Any of those things you can start to idolize because you're constantly chasing being comfortable, or chasing having what someone else has. That's the other thing that creates that mentality. So why don't we flip it around, like my white counterparts? I've seen them do when they're dealing with the crab in the barrel mentality, because they do as well. They
Mhm.
teach those individuals other skills.
Mhm.
So they talk the truth to you, being a thief, you being a liar, you're being a con artist, instead of saying, oh, little Bobo just going through something. No, they call Bobo out for what Bobo's doing, and they'll go give Bobo a real good job with you, knowing that Bobo is a criminal, but they'll give Bobo a skill. We don't do that. We cut each
Mhm.
other off. We don't try to, So my thing is, at least put the knowledge out there. What somebody does with it is up to them. But I simply live by the motto, each one teaches one. And
Oh, I
so
mean,
when you know better, you do better. Yeah.
yeah, and I believe that too. I believe that too, as far as like each one teach one as well too. But I just think that still, like you said,
Yep.
going back to that, I really believe that because they had to get the name career criminal from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't think it's all about just stealing. You know what I'm saying? The point I was trying to make, I don't think it's all about just them taking. I just feel like, because like you said, okay, because and it's like sometimes you sit and you think like, so is it going to continue to be a cycle, or at what point in our life are we? Because some people they really do, they just want to stay there. You know, even if you, like you said, even with other races and stuff like that, they'll get them a skill and they'll say, okay, well, you know what, I'm gonna give you a job so that way you can work for things instead of steal those things. You understand what I'm saying? But with us, it's like, how do you move forward with those that you want to teach them, but they don't want to learn. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to learn, and they're just gonna continue
That's
to.
not,
They're
those not your
comfortable.
people.
Yeah.
Those
And
not
that's
your people.
right,
Mhm.
and that's where,
Look,
I
that's
mean, the
not
thing
your
is,
tribe.
right,
Mhm.
and that's the thing that's the key thing is we have to learn how
Mhm.
to separate ourselves from
Mhm.
the element that is bad for us. We have the two things that majority of the time we have, and I'm gonna say this with the black race, is we're not honest and we're not truthful. We're not honest and we're not truthful. And when we're able to be honest and truthful, that's
Yeah.
how we will grow. But because we're not honest and we're not truthful with each other, that's the problem. Like, for example, perfect example. is you have black business owners, right? You have all the black business owners out here, and you have some that want to take shortcuts. Those shortcuts that they take hurt the entire industry. Why in the world would I support that black business that's hurting our industry? Just because they're black doesn't mean I have to support them. That is the biggest con ever in the black race. Or black business don't support black business. Why? Black people don't support. Why should I support your business if you ain't doing the right thing? It's a difference when if you're out here doing the exact same thing everybody else is doing. I should not lower my standards just because you're black.
Bingo.
And that is the biggest.
Well, not only that too, Mario. We've been taught to start off doing stuff for free or at a very low cost.
Right.
And then when we raise our prices in the black community, I ain't paying that. She was just doing that for.
I'm not.
So, right. So we've got to learn business to know we starting where we need to start at. And I'm not trying to ramp my business. No, that's not how you do it. But we always want a discount. But we want it that goes back to the mentality of we have been, it's that slave mentality. It's been instilled and beaten in us that we are not worth what we're worth.
Right.
That's true.
We haven't even been taught how to negotiate in corporate America to get what we're worth. You know, so but it's and then like you said, the worth, then you're arrogant, whatever the case may be. You know.
Right. And that's where people have to understand. That's one of the biggest things that people have to understand is that the moment we are able to be honest and truthful is where we will rise. It's like, don't use, and this is, and a lot of people are going to, I normally get like, don't use race as an excuse. Don't use race as a handicap. And I think that's what it is that a lot of people want to use race as a handicap. When things are not working the way you want it, then all of a sudden it's a black thing. And that is the part that, don't get me wrong, sometimes it is. I mean, sometimes it can be that way, but most of the time now in today, 2023, it has nothing to do with race. It's just a person that is too lazy. They get off their butt and work for it. They want stuff to come easy. Well, like, and I think that's one of the things is I get tired seeing on social media.
Oh my
support
God.
black businesses. No, support business do right business.
That's right.
Doesn't matter if the black.
That's right. That's right.
Like the biggest ones, the biggest crooks in most of the industry, I hate to say it, are black business owners. So that's where we have to learn and see, oh, I'm gonna get, oh, you can't tell the truth. You can't say that because you're gonna make us look bad. Okay, I mean, perfect example. How is it, and this is, I know I'm gonna get beat down for this, Black Lives Matter. Okay. If Black Lives Matter, and I hate to say this because because
they gotta matter to us.
It has to matter to us.
Yeah, first.
Right.
And so we don't want to say it. A lot of people don't want to say it because the first thing, and then this is what happens is when we brought up the Black Lives Matter. Well, if Black Lives Matter, why are we killing each other?
Exactly.
That is the biggest truth that we don't want to talk about. We want to go out and
Mario, I'm gonna step on some more toes. Hold on. While we stepping on toes, what about hiding behind religion all the time? We do a lot of dirty stuff and blame it on God. I've never seen people that justify so much bad behavior with religion.
And here's another one. With this each one teach one. See, that's a small statement, but it's powerful. It means each person who's already there teach at least one person, because that one person is going to go to another person. Now, this is what's going to piss some people off. It says each one teach one. You teach the teachable. You teach the teachable. It is a waste of your time, energy, space, focus, mindset to try to teach somebody who's sitting there telling you, I don't need to know that. I don't want to know that. I ain't got time for that. Stop. Go to somebody that wants to learn, that wants to be taught. That's where they each one teach one come in at. You go to those that are ready to receive, that are willing to receive the blessing that you can give to them. And so many times, yeah, like you said, it starts with us. So many times we'll see something happen. Instead of doing the follow through and seeing it to the end, you say, that was wrong. Whoop, time to go to the supermarket. And we don't follow through. We need to know what happened to this person. What was the outcome? What's going to be the end result? We don't do that.
And we also have a problem with people. We also have a problem with people that has already experienced certain things that we wouldn't even go through. We don't want to, like, for instance, put it out there. Someone that's been on drugs, someone that's an alcoholic. Oh, they can't tell me anything. Hey, Laquanda, they can't tell me anything because how can a crackhead tell me anything? Yes, a crackhead. You can learn from a crackhead. You can learn from an alcoholic. You understand what I'm saying? You can learn from somebody that's been in poverty. You can learn from somebody that's been homeless. Yes, we can. We think that because we have not experienced that or we have not been there, they can't tell us anything. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Because a lot of times, you know, it's like people think because I have a degree in certain things, that don't make you smarter than someone that has common sense. Because my thing is, it's like, it's a lot of times it's hands-on. You understand what I'm saying? And people think that degrees is better than experience. It's not.
Well, it
So
depends.
that's another problem that we have in the black community too.
It's
We
a
don't
credibility
want to,
thing.
we don't want to accept any type of advice from someone that's there where we have not never been. That's our problem too.
Well, see, I think that's I mean, when it comes to that type of, when you look at it from that angle, it's a credibility thing. It's not. I don't think it's not about what they've been through. It's their credibility after they've gone through it. And I think that's the biggest problem. It's not. It's like when someone goes through, let's say they're like they went through it, they were alcoholic. There's a difference to where if you was an alcoholic and you've gone back and you've reclaimed your life and you're doing better, your credibility, you gain more credibility by doing it because now you can speak on experience on how you recover and how you became better. But when you have a situation where I'm not going to listen to somebody that's still alcohol. If you're going out and you're getting drunk every single weekend, I'm not going to take it. That credibility for that person to me, I'm not going to listen to that.
Yeah.
Yes, I understand that part.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah,
that
I mean, I see what you're saying, but like, most times, when it comes to someone so for someone who's made a bad choice in life, it's not it's not the choice that they made, it's how they recover.
How they recover.
And if they didn't, like, let's say, for example, if somebody is still living in that same mistake, their credibility is shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't technically, if you listen to somebody who's still stuck in that, I mean, good luck with that one. But I mean, it's just like one of
well, can I give an example though? I mean, and I understand exactly what you're saying, but I'm saying just going back to what you just said as far as like if someone is still living through that, just like for instance, they can say, you know, so you saying basically that someone that's still going through it, you saying their credibility is shot based on the fact that they have not came up out of that.
It depends on what you're doing, right?
Yeah, but can't that same alcoholic that's still drinking the alcohol say to you, Mario, or me, or Eric, that this is something that you don't want to do because this right here can destroy your life? You understand what I'm saying? I understand the credibility part, but I'm talking about, to me, I feel like, you know, because I've lived that before where somebody was in a position, they had everything and they lost a lot of things based on their addiction. But that person was still able to, you know, I was still able to learn and get knowledge from them, because I think that we forget about like where they were before to where they are now. You see what I'm saying? And that's where the credibility comes in at. But to me, I just do believe that someone that still is in that position to where they want to come up out of it, I still think that I can learn from that person. I really do. Because I don't have to go through what they're going through at that moment to know that that's not something that I want to. That's something I don't want to go through. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, and see, like I'll give you a perfect example. Is you have a jail? I have know this gentleman. He went to jail for dealing drugs. Okay, he did his time. He came out, and when he defended, like I said, he went to jail. I mean, he was in there for quite some time. He came out, and he learned a lot of stuff when he was in jail. So he comes out of jail, and he takes the money that he has and he earned and he made, and he start investing into things.
Yeah.
Now he's one of the biggest business representatives in Goldsboro. So it's like that's something to where now I would want to learn from him, because for someone to go from a negative, not just rock bottom, but a negative, come back up, build himself up, and then become one of the biggest business owners, that says a lot about them, because their actions speak volume.
Yeah, most definitely.
But if you have somebody that doesn't have the actions to speak on what they're speaking on, their credibility is going to be shot. And I think that's what it is. It's more of a it's like in everything that we do when it comes to the crab mentality, it's a person's actions. If a person is doing stuff, it's just like I had a situation where we had this one situation where, okay, this owner, she purchased a store in a mall, and in this mall, she slotted out all these different places to promote. Like, keep in mind now, was to promote small business owners. Okay, so she let the small business owners come in, and they were doing their thing. One business owner decided she wanted to do something for her grand opening. Well, because of this thing that she was doing as a grand opening was bigger than the one that she did, she made up rules and stuff and guidelines to stop her from outdoing her.
Exactly.
That right there, her credibility and see, that's what I'm saying is that her actions and her credibility just got shot, because you were trying to do the right thing, but in the process of, you didn't want nobody to surpass you, so you're going to make up rules and guidelines to keep people down. That credibility, and from before then, she was supposed to be this big time business owner and so forth, but because of her actions, it kind of like shot her credibility, because now you don't want somebody to surpass you or make you look bad, so you're going to come up with stuff to keep them down and below. And to me,
and that's sad.
I mean, my thing is, I heard nothing but great things about this person until I met them, and just in her actions alone, her credibility got shot. And I think that's what people have to understand is, we can talk all day long, but your actions speak volume. If you can't back up what you say, you're wasting my time. And most of the time, what happens with a lot of people that are trying to get right in their lives, they talk a good game, but they don't do anything. And that's the type of mentality that people is there. Again, I go back to not being honest with themselves, and they're not being truthful. And the truth hurts. But like I said, it comes down to it. Nobody wants to. People want to kind of share the weight. So that keeps, like, for those in that scenario of being in the bucket, that the reason why you keep pulling people back down is because they're not being honest and truthful.
Quanda just joined us. What we're talking about is that crab in the bucket mentality. And can you give us an example, experience that you ever had with crabs in the bucket, or just, can you have anything that you want to say real quick?
No, I'm just listening. I mean, I'm sorry it took me so long. I couldn't figure out what phone that it came to, so I apologize. But I would have been on here on time. But no, I'm good. I'm just listening right now.
Oh, you're fine. Okay.
Well, it's like the Bible verse that says, "Faith without work is dead." And it goes along with what Mario said. All them words without action is just a waste of oxygen. You know what I'm saying? Because you got oxygen for two things. All right, to take that deep breath and speak what you want out of this. And then the second part of that breath is to put action behind those words. First thing Mario said is, I want to be a DJ. He spoke that into existence. And then his actions made it exist. It's two totally different things. He can sit there and say for the next 10 years he want to be a DJ. After a while, people going to be like, Mm-hmm. 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 I don't just say I'm a friend. I am an active friend. So that means if I call you my friend, if you need me, I'm there. If you need me, I'm there. It don't matter what it is, what time of the night, you need me. You call me and I am there. That's what's part of being a friend. Now on the second half, when you was talking about learning, you learn from everybody every day. You even learn from a baby that just got here. They let you know real quick who's the boss. You have to learn them. You have to see what they. You have to figure out what they're doing and why they're doing what they're doing, and then go from there. You can learn something from everybody. What you do with what you learn. That is how you go through life. Cause see, even if you learn something bad from somebody, you know to do the exact opposite. Okay, so if you learn something that you think is good from somebody, you're gonna take it and you're gonna try to utilize it in your life or pass it on to somebody else. See, you can get everybody got a piece of information from you. It's all about how you use said information. So
And you know, with me, you know, I have a lot of talents. You know, I can cook, I can decorate. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and so people, you know, they know that, and so therefore, um, my mentality is like Marcella, you know, can you help me, you know, decide on colors in this room, or can you give me the last ingredient for this recipe? You know what I'm saying? And my mentality is yes, sure, I can do that
mm-hmm.
because I had someone one time they had made some deviled eggs. This is just real quick. They made some deviled eggs and they was really good. And I asked, I was like, well, what did you put in your deviled eggs? No, I ain't gonna be able to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? You didn't even patent the recipe. You know what I'm saying? You didn't patent the recipe, none of that. So I'm like, you know, it's like, why you can't tell me what you put in the eggs? So it's, I mean, and just little things like that. We just, I mean, like you said, it goes back to that slave mentality. You understand what I'm saying? And one thing about me, if I can help anybody
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the skills and the knowledge that I have, hey, I'm all
Oh
in.
man.
You know, I'm all in. You know, but
Oh
we don't.
man.
It's just like you said, Mario. It's like certain people don't want you to surpass. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it. There's a lot of great DJs in the world. There's a lot of interior designers in the world. There's a lot of cooks in the world. You know,
Hairstylists,
we
all
all
that.
have different skills. But my thing is this: it's like we can all go out here and we can win together. Why you can't be the number one top home interior designer because you can't design for everybody in the world because you can't be all over the place. You understand what I'm saying? You can't be the number one.
Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. I was just listening. Go ahead.
Oh, you
Man,
can't be.
listen.
You can't be the number one DJ in the world. Meaning when greed comes in, because Mario, if they need you in New York, you can't have 1,500 contracts. You got one in California, New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Mario, because you know you can't be in all those places at one time, right?
Right.
So therefore, but we have those type of people that it's like they let that crabs in the
Mm-hmm.
bucket mentality mixed in with a little bit of greed, thinking that they
Mm-hmm.
don't want nobody to surpass them or make money just like them.
Or and if that's the case, to carry on what you're saying, then the type of person I know Mario is, I can't do this. Let me call this DJ.
And he
Let
has
me
that.
call that DJ, and then that DJ do the same for Mario. Hey Mario, I can't go to Virginia this weekend. Can you go? I thought about you first. No, I can't do it, but I can ask DJ Eric. Okay, cool. And that's how that's how everybody's successful. If money is the object, why isn't everything that you do is about money? Because if you use that, it's all about making money. So it wouldn't bother you to tell somebody else about this DJ or this hair or this interior design because they're gonna do the same for you, and you all there's enough money out there for everybody to make something. But you sit there and you want to do everybody do it all by yourself, and you got 15 contracts, and see now you done miss several contract that you had. Now you in court. Now your business is took a hit, like you said, like Mario said. Now your credibility ain't that well. So if it's all about making money, there's enough money for everybody to make some. Why overtax yourself? That makes no sense to me. If you know you can only handle five, let's say 5 contracts, why you got 15? That don't make no sense.
Well, see, I think that's that's part of the problem
Mhm.
in this world is that it's kind of like, again, I go back to honesty and being truthful, and it's like being honest and being truthful is it's one of those things that it hurts us in so many different ways. If you know for a fact somebody is a crook, but you still promote that crook,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you're adding to the problem.
Yes.
You're not fixing the problem. If you know for a fact that this person is not doing business the way it's supposed to be up to standard, but you're still promoting that business because it benefits you. See, the problem that we have across the board is there's not enough, like, there's no one is being honest and telling the truth. If people would take time out and see, my thing is the crab in the barrel mentality only exists if you want to be in that barrel.
Yes.
If you choose to deal with an element that you know is bad and have no intentions of changing, then you're wasting your time.
Yeah.
Because what you're going to do is that those type of individuals
Mm-hmm.
will never allow you to be successful.
Mhm.
So it's like that's the part that sometimes we have to be honest and we have to be truthful when we're dealing with a situation. Is that if this person, like for example, like I was listening to a motivational speaker this morning, and he was talking about systems, and the system is set up for everybody to be successful. So what a person does is in that system, the rules, the guidelines, everything is all laid out. But you have people that don't want to work within the system boundaries.
Mhm.
So what do? Is they take shortcuts. They go through and they cheat the system. They do things to hurt the system. And so that whole person that's doing that stuff, it just hurts everything and it pulls everybody back down. So now guess what? Because that one individual decided to go out here and rob everybody by coming up with some crazy idea about that you can get rich or whatever it is, that person has now made it harder for all right in that system because now the system is going to react to that one person that either took shortcuts, cheated the system, so forth. Perfect. Give you another example. Food stamps. Okay. You have individuals out here on food stamps. What is food stamps supposed to be for?
Food provided for your family.
They're supposed to provide for those families that are trying to make it in life. They're
Yeah.
trying. They have certain circumstances that makes it hard for them to be productive in the so-called system that's in place.
Mm-hmm.
But when someone abuses the system, who gets punished for it?
Everybody.
Everybody gets punished for it. So guess what? That pulls everybody back down to where you could be on the top about to get out that barrel, but because one person in the system wants to cheat the system, pull up. But guess what? Do we do anything about it? If we see someone selling food stamps, do we say something about it? No, we okay. Sometimes we're the ones buying them. So we can't fight a system that we're not going to be honest and truthful about. It's just like it's just one of those things to where no matter which way you look at it, there's always going to be the crab and barrel mentality because everybody is trying to make it in this world, and if they see one or two people or 5,000 or whatever taking shortcuts, they're going to take shortcuts too. But guess what? That one person took a shortcut, just now made it hard for all of us, so that pulls us all back down again. So it's like that's one of the things that is like mass punishment in the military. Private Too Good couldn't get up on time, so now we're all out here doing push-ups. So that's just one of those things to where it takes only one person to bring it all back down. So if you can't deal with that person. And the thing what's so crazy is like now you look at the police officer now, like, okay, here it is now, perfect, another good example. I hate to use this example, but here it is, traffic stop. Okay. You get stopped by the police. What's the right and wrong thing to do?
The right. Oh, yes, that a
I
question?
mean, I'm just saying, what's the right and wrong thing to do?
Okay.
If you get stopped now, if you know, and I said back again, watch this earlier today. If you get stopped by the police and you know you're wrong, if you're driving 100 miles per hour and the police pull you over, how in the world are you going to start yelling, screaming?
Attitude, yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you're dealing with a society to where when one person goes out here and does one thing, the rules and regulations and laws all come back, and we all pay for it.
Yeah. I've been pulled over some times, and man, the easiest way to get out of them. Hey, one dude was confused. He was confused as hell. He's like, you know why I pulled you over? I said, yeah, I was speeding. He's like, wait, what? I said, yeah, I was speeding. Otherwise, you wouldn't pull me over. So I gave him my driver license, registration, insurance. He walked back to the car. He just paused. He was confused. He came back. Just slow down. He's like, man, I have never seen anybody that just admit to me right off the bat what they did, and I got out of it. You know,
It's the thing about being the truth, like telling the
Yeah.
truth. It's about
Honest
being
and
honest with
truthful.
life, and that's
It
what I'm saying.
works.
Like now, and see, like now, look, we all were growing up. I don't care. Back then, when we were growing up, racial situations were a lot worse than they are now. When we were growing up, if the police pulled us over, we do the right thing. Period. I don't care whatever society is saying now. It's whatever it is. But back in the day, if you got pulled over by the police officer asks you for your driver's license. You give your driver's license. They check your stuff out. You get your ticket. You move on. Now they're out here pushing, fight the police. Don't take your rights. Don't let them do this. So what does that do to all the rest of us? Now they're coming in. They see that you're falling to the certain particular people that are doing this crazy stuff, and now you can get killed just because of what somebody else did. And I think that's the problem across the board is we're not being honest, we're not being truthful about the situations that are going on, because then it would be different. Like right now, there's like someone was saying, well, forget the fact that they were a criminal. Look at what was wrong. Okay, what did they do wrong to bring it on to themselves? See, that's the part that bothers me the most is that we're not being honest. We're not being truthful about the situation. And then we want to go out here and say, oh, woe is me, boo hoo. But in reality, we're never being honest and truthful. If you would have got that switch and beat that tail when they were children growing up, they wouldn't be this way. So they wouldn't be in this situation. And that's not to say, I'm just saying in general, but it just goes back to where, oh, woe is me, such and such. But what did you do to prevent this person from becoming this way? What did you do? So it's kind of like one of those things to where the crabbing mentality is always going to exist, and not unless you cut yourself out of it and build your own platform and only accept people that think and do what you do. If I want to be successful, everybody that I deal with, we all support each other. So we push each other up. If we got that one DJ that thinks that he or she rules the world and no matter what they do, they're the best DJ in the world. Okay, guess what? You're not going to be a part of our organization. You're not going to be a part of my platform because you're not going to pull us down. Once we learn how to stop accepting the bad elements for business, personal life, whatever it is, there's different. It's a difference when you're helping somebody who wants to help themselves versus somebody who's just taking advantage of you. Right. And I think that's the part that being honest and being truthful will kill that crab mentality of doing things. But we will not do it. We will not do the truth. We will not speak the truth. We won't do what's right. We will continue to do all the things that are wrong. And because of that, we will always have the crab mentality scenario crab in the barrel mentality, because at no point nobody wants to be honest. Nobody wants to accept the truth. If you see someone doing something and you're not doing anything about it, then guess what? You're supporting that crab mentality situation, that crab in the barrel mentality. So it's like, that is something that I've always stressed for years, that the biggest problem in this world is nobody wants to be truthful. Nobody wants to be honest with themselves or the people that they deal with.
That's true. And that was
Because
my
if we were, a lot of the problems that exist to pull us back down as a society wouldn't exist.
yeah.
No, you were saying something.
And that's the same thing I said from the beginning. You know, the truth, be telling the truth and being honest. And then to me, with my experiences, it's all about clicks sometimes. And that's why I disassociate myself with those type of things. I hang around, my circle are people that want to become even better than what they already are. And so that's why I would never be a part of that crab in the bucket mentality, because I want everybody to win. And I'm gonna, and like you said, I got that teach one each one mentality. I have that, you know, I can teach you, you know, I can give you some of the knowledge that I have. So you have to associate yourself with the right type of people,
Like people.
with like people. And that's what my circle is. It's like people. And so therefore, because one thing, Mario, when you start lying and not being truthful, that's who you're gonna stay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And the first time and it's like, and to me, I think the worst thing to me is when you lie about something that's so simple. When you lie about something that's so small, you definitely gonna lie about something that's big.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So yeah,
But it's just, and you know what? You just made me think when you said lie. Politicians, okay? It is like, that is the biggest. Those are the ones
yeah,
that are the kings and queens of the crab in the barrel scenario. The reason why the crab in the barrel mentality is because of the people we choose to lead us.
Mm-hmm.
If you're putting people in position and you know they ain't right, you know they ain't doing anything, what are they going to do to our society? They're going to make it worse. And that's the thing, is we're able to accept them with all the BS that they're putting out there, all the lies. And don't get me wrong, nobody's perfect. But when you take the worstest person and put them in a position, and then you want to disregard, don't care. Yeah, they killed like 5 people. That no big thing. Oh yeah, they raped some people. That was no big thing. Oh yeah, they did cocaine off the big toe. That don't mean nothing. I mean, it's just like the stuff that goes on in our society is we just don't care. It's like we don't really pay attention. And then, I mean, seriously, I mean, you think about it. A lot of crazy stuff. We see people out here are leaders, key leaders, and they don't want to do the right thing before they were leaders, but we're gonna make them our leaders anyways.
it's
So,
so funny.
man.
Yeah, when you said do cocaine off the big toe,
I mean,
you're cracking up.
that's what I'm saying. It's just like it could be something extreme and crazy. That's why I said it, because it could be something extreme and crazy, but yet we're still gonna put them in a position to be leaders. One of the things I also learned is that when a person is comfortable and they don't want the world to change around them, what they're going to do is they're going to sabotage everything around them to keep you right there at the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Technology. People are scared of technology. They don't want to learn. They don't want to do nothing about it. So what do they do about it? Oh, they talk crazy. Yeah, if you get on the computer, it's going to take your life over. I mean, it's just like crazy stuff. People will make up stuff just because they don't want to change. They're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? All those people that don't want technology, they're getting left behind. They're at the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna never make it out because they don't want it to change. They don't want to adapt to what the world is changing to. So again, that's why I say it's like right now, the people at the people right now, I'm gonna put it out there point blank. If you are scared of technology and you ain't trying to learn technology, you will always be at the bottom of the barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Only ones who won't be at the bottom of the barrel are the ones that are rich already. So they can pay somebody to teach them or do whatever it is they need for them. So that's a big difference. But in this world today, if you ain't changing, if you're not
You got a question?
uncomfortable and you're not willing to accept change, you will always be stuck at the bottom.
You stuck at the
Yeah.
bottom.
So to sum up what we talked about tonight, we always end with a question. So my question to everyone on the panel will be, so what is one of the best ways to not have the crab in the barrel bucket mentality? What is something that you can tell someone, if you had to tell someone about changing that concept, what would be one thing that you would say, Mario, to change the way they think? If you could help, if you know that you can help this person, what would be one way to change the way they think by just giving them some type of advice?
Be able to show somebody what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you're able to take your given talents, your skill set, and you're able to pass it on to somebody else, you're pushing them up. You're not pulling them down. You're pushing them up. And I think that's one of the biggest things is that in your life, if you're able taking time to give someone
Mm-hmm.
a talent or skill set that elevates them, then you've already beaten that mentality.
Okay. Eric, what would be something that you would give somebody advice to if they had that crab in the bucket mentality to bring them out of that?
Always seek self-improvement. If you do better, you want to be better, you do better. And to support that, you have to surround yourself with like people. Same people with the same mentality who want to do better as well. Then that way, that will push you to keep rising higher and higher. And most importantly, you have to be willing to accept change. You be willing to change and be willing to accept change. Okay, you only fail when you're not willing. When you're not willing,
Bill, you can ask me who I'm texting, but until then, yeah, okay.
but if you're not willing to change, you're gonna fail. It's okay to accept change and then say that's not for me. But to say no, I'm not changing them whatsoever. I'm gonna say right here, that's the crab in the bucket mentality. Always seek self-improvement. Always seek to better yourself, and always surround yourself with like-minded people.
And my thing that I would say is, going back to what Mario said, is to always be upfront and be honest. Always be upfront and be honest, and to let that person know that there's enough room in this world for all of us to be in a better place. And you have to change your mindset in order for you to get out the bottom of the bucket. You have to change that mindset. And if you change that mindset and you hang around like people, then you will be one of those ones that would definitely be out the bottom of the bucket.
There you go. All right. So Q, do you have anything you want to say? I know you sit back and you kind of cut into the end. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I don't have anything. I'm sorry I missed it, like I said before. But no,
Okay.
I enjoyed it.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, hey, that's it for our show. Again, what we try to do, I know we started a little bit later than we normally, because normally we start at 6. We're kind of late this time around. But what we're gonna try to do is next Tuesday, 6:00. We'll actually come back on here, and then as you can see, our panel is growing. We have different people coming up. Like Q, this is her first night with us. Glad to see her tonight. And again, like I said, the whole purpose of tonight's show is not. We already know it's going to take a long time to solve that problem. It's just something to we're having to, like, the key thing about this show is called Let's Talk. And some of the times when we talk about stuff, it helps us understand, like, especially because we're being truthful in some cases, it helps us understand what kind of problems we're dealing with today's world. Well, look, y'all be safe. Y'all have a great night. Until next time, we'll see y'all later.
Have a good night, you guys. Thanks for the invite.
Have a good night.
So now we're gonna go backstage. I know Q, this is your first time, so what we do is we're gonna go backstage. So everybody else out there on all these different YouTube and Facebook, we'll talk to y'all later.